It's probably the most famous flowering houseplant of them all. Let's talk about Spathiphyllum. What's up, fellow plant enthusiasts? My name is Dylan and this is Bane's Botanicals. Today we're going to be talking about Spathiphyllum, also known as the peace lily. Now, if anyone's ever been to a funeral, you've probably seen one of these plants on one of the tables. It's very popular as a gift, not just for funerals, but in general, and for good reason. A Spathiphyllum is pretty easy to take care of. Is it the easiest houseplant to take care of? No. It doesn't last too long in the retail setting. They are fairly thirsty plants, but they have the advantage of not needing a ton of light, but we'll get to that. Before we go any further, here is the taxonomy information for Spathiphyllum, and we are in the family Aroids. So this is an aroid, which explains the flowers. Here we are, we have the, let's do this one. We have the spadix right here, the corncob part, and then we have the spathe, which is the leaf that covers it. I think this is the first time I've actually been able to demonstrate that flower on this channel, even though we've talked about it quite a bit. So if you ever want to know what a spadix looks like, just look no further than a peace lily. So anything in the family Aroids is going to, in theory, have these flowers. Now things like epiprimnum are never going to flower indoors. They barely even flower in nature. So this particular peace lily is a domino, meaning the variety it has kind of these bumpy, textured leaves, which are really very kind of nice to the touch. They kind of warp the appearance of the leaves, which I think is kind of cool. And of course, they are variegated. They're splashed with white, kind of a combination of maybe a Thai constellation or like a Milky Way aspidistra, that kind of thing. But yeah, this particular one is a really nice plant. I enjoy the domino a lot. The traditional peace lily, of course, has nice, big, dark green leaves, and they can get quite large. If you have a peace lily for a long time, I don't know why I can't say the word lily very well. Lily, peace lily. There's just, I don't know. But if you have one for a long time, they do get very wide. They don't really get that tall, but they do get wide. And I've seen some with flowers that are really the size of my hand. Like the spathe is the size of my hand. So I don't know, I think they're pretty cool. Now, as far as care goes, peace lilies do not need that much light. In nature, they kind of grow at the bottom of the forest, so they're not getting direct sun ever. And if you put this in the direct sun, it will kill it very quickly. So don't ever put this in the direct sun, ever. It's a good low light plant for kind of a shadier corner. It does still need light, so don't put it in a closet, but it is a good low light plant. You'll see these in offices a lot. You'll see these in malls a lot, just places that don't get a lot of light, but they do get some light. And as far as water goes, it does need a fair amount of water. And this is one of the plants that will actually show you when it needs water by wilting. Now, you don't really want it to get to that point because wilting is hard on plants. It does take energy to kind of come back to life in a sense. Well, come back upright, I should say. So you don't really want them to get to that point because eventually, if you let them wilt too many times, sometimes they don't come back. So the soil just needs to be kept kind of consistently moist. Now, it's not going to need to stay as wet, for lack of a better term, as a fern, but it does need to, you never want to touch the soil and have it feel dusty, like when you haven't watered a cactus in a while. You don't ever want it to get to that point, because by then it's kind of too late. Now, this particular peace lily, being the domino that has kind of that variegation and the thinner leaves, it is going to need a little bit more light, and it may need a little bit more water, because remember, the amount of water we give a plant is kind of determined by how much light it's getting. So if your peace lily is a regular peace lily that is kind of just in a darker corner of your living room, you're not going to be giving it as much water as you would if maybe it's in kind of a sunnier area that's not getting direct sun, but it's getting pretty bright indirect light. That one's going to need more water. So just kind of keep that in mind. As far as soil goes, I just use a regular houseplant soil. I don't use anything really special for it. And I fertilize it bi-weekly during the growing season, and then not at all during the dormant season, late fall, winter, early spring. These can bloom all year long if they are given enough light and you just kind of take care of them. But don't be surprised if they don't flower in the wintertime, just because it's not really the time to do that. Usually when you buy these in the store, they've been forced to flower through hormones and things like that. So don't think that because you buy it in store that the flowers are going to last forever. The same can be said for things like Christmas cactus, Schlumbergera. Those are forced to flower for the holiday season so that people buy them, right? But yeah, but just take good care of it and it will reward you with more flowers. Now, I haven't had this one for too long, but it has opened up a few flowers since I've had it. And I think the cool thing about the domino too is the flowers are a little bit, I don't want to call them runty, but kind of. They're just not like, look at some of these ones on top here. Like, look at that. That's all the more it is that little bitty piece. But yeah, still pretty cool. I'm hoping that this one will be with me for a long time. We'll see. I haven't always had the best luck with peace lilies because I tend to underwater, of course, as everybody knows. And Christian, hey look, I don't have this in a terracotta pot. This is like glazed. So these are not good plants to put in terracotta. Don't do it. I mean, you can if you just water it a lot, but these are good for plastic pots, glazed pots, ceramic, things like that, because we can retain moisture in the soil better. So did I miss anything? Humidity. These like humidity. If you have a humidifier, or if you could put it on a pebble tray, it benefits from humidity. Just because it does, like I said, it grows in that bottom part of the forest where it is generally more humid. So think how you would care for a fern, but just dial it back a little bit, because ferns are, of course, always going to be more picky, but this is just like a less picky version of a fern, except they're not related at all. So I think that's all I have about peace lilies, Spathiphyllum. I prefer Spathiphyllum because lily is so hard to say for some reason. But there are other varieties as well. This is the domino. There's the regular one. There is one, I'm spacing on the variety that it's called. Platinum. I think it might be called platinum. And the leaves are kind of almost silver. They look like they've been kind of spray painted with silver. I just don't remember if it's called platinum. But yeah. Let me know if you guys have any cool varieties of Spathiphyllum that you find interesting or that are your favorites. And until the next video, I will see you guys very soon. Thank you.